I'll just turn this into a.
You're like a Jewish mother. You're full of guilt. You're just full of guilt. Just full of it.
Saddam. I could be Saddam Hussein and just make this the way I want it. I couldn't even remember his name.
No, you're right. If you're late, it was because you're trying to help you. If you're early, it's because you're trying to help. But whatever you do is because you're trying to help, and I appreciate you.
Yeah. No, I had something, and for some reason I totally lost it.
I'm just kidding. No. Let's just talk about honestly right now. What do people want to hear? Right. And I think right now is. People still want to get a house. In this market, we just talked about doom and gloom. It's hard to get in, but the thing is a lot of people are behind. Mm-hmm. They're not making as much as they were, right? The dollar doesn't stretch as far as it does, and the interest rates are up.
Yep.
It's demoralizing. It is. It's something. People want to get in. Yes, you had a house. You had a house in mind that was $600,000. Now all of a sudden you're only qualified for $450 to $400. Demoralizing. Like you had this in your ideas. This is what you've been saving for, and all of a sudden it was taken away from you.
Okay.
How do you get over that? What do you need to do to
well, you should have listened to your loan officer and bought a house back then, and then
but you didn't, right? But you didn't. I know. But you didn't.
Right.
So let's talk to that. Like, what is it? It is the smart thing is get in right now. Because quit, crying in your what is the whole saying? Don't cry over spilt milk.
Right.
Talk about hey, in 2 years you can do that, right?
I forgot we even started this already. Okay, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I'm just listening.
Like, buy a house now. Still do it. It's still not bad. This is how it works out.
Yeah.
Math-wise. Compound interest. Mortgages.
Okay.
That's how you get back in it.
Okay.
Do it now.
All right. Ready?
Yeah.
Hello, Austin, Texas. You're listening to the Home Team with Troy and Wyatt, where we bring sports and money together for your education and entertainment. If you have any questions about anything we say today, please reach out to me at loansfromtroy.com. or give me a call at 855-299-HOME. And as always, this segment is brought to you by Security National Mortgage, where we turn houses into homes by financing
your
American dream. He's back. The Wyatt is back.
Well, I got a deeper voice because I'm a little sick. So.
Yes. You're like, what's it?
Wolfman Jack.
There you go. Yeah. Hey, and if you have any questions about anything, folks, you can also look at us on the Facebook. Which is the Home Team 512, or the YouTube, which again is the Home Team 512. It had to be simple for me to be able to do it.
Right?
Right.
No, I do the same thing.
Yeah.
If you have multiple passwords, it kind of gives me
I have multiple passwords.
Do you?
I have like 400 of them.
Do you?
I have to.
Okay, that makes sense. Well, I mean, you do in your world, yeah. I mean, I do too.
I can't stay here and tell somebody I have one password.
Right, no, I agree. And
it's not thousands of them.
That 1 million. And I guarantee you it's not 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. I promise.
Yes.
I promise.
Then 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2.
2. Yeah.
1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 3.
No. You do the same thing? I'm playing.
Yeah. And then I put, my name afterwards.
Of course.
So the best part, total side note, is when you come to the house and you want to hop on the Wi-Fi, people go, what's the guest Wi-Fi password? It is Troy is great, all lowercase.
You're goofy. You're goofy. Yeah, that's funny.
So I thought it was funny. And, I have found there are many things in life that I find humorous that other people just don't.
Well, I on mine, a neighbor put "I love Laura" as their name of their Wi-Fi, so I changed mine to "I love Laura too." I don't know how they took it. It was funny for me. I don't know. But,
right.
You never know.
Yeah.
I was talking back to him via Wi-Fi name.
That's right. Yeah. So, again, there's a lot going on in the country right now when it comes to the real estate and financial industry.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Really?
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah, that's crazy. And you know what? There's a lot of people out there hurting. A lot of people stressed out. A lot of people having to rethink their entire lives because of everything that's happened.
So I was talking to someone. I always like to talk to people with disagreeing opinions so that I can understand, right? And
do you talk to them or do you listen?
Both.
Okay.
I mean, I listen. No, because I need to disagree. Because I need to understand. I need to understand why somebody thinks different than I do. I just have to understand that. If I can understand it, I can appreciate it. If I can't understand it, it makes no sense to me. And you know what I'm saying? So I have to listen.
And it's tough to find that opposition that can have an actual conversation.
Yes. Well,
nowadays.
I'm actually really good at that because I like. I
you bring it back and forth.
I like a lot. I know a lot of people that will
support.
Debate isn't the right word, but that's the best way I can put it.
Converse.
Yes. And so one of the things is, like you just said, a lot of people are hurting, right? And so I said, hey, the economy. And he's like, well, why do you think the economy's? And I'm like, because it is. And he goes, well, what metric are you using? And I said, do you feel financially better today than 3 years ago? Well, that's not the point. I'm like, no, really, that's the only point. He says the gross domestic product, inflation is down. He starts throwing out all these statistics and the economy's going great. And I said, that is exactly what Jerome Powell is doing as well. And it's not what the American people are feeling.
Right.
And he goes, well, what measurement are you doing? I said, go ask 20 of your closest friends if they feel financially better off today than 3 years ago. And tell me how many say yes or maybe.
But I mean, I don't understand how you could say that they feel better. I mean, gas prices, egg prices,
my point.
Production. I mean,
but
produce, material costs. I mean, it's crazy. It's an all-time high.
The metrics that the government uses to determine if the economy is in good shape are all positive. They're all more positive now than they were 3 years ago. Gross domestic product, rates compared to inflation, all sorts of things, right? Are show a positive number.
Now.
They just show it.
Now.
Right.
Not all last 3 years. You're saying they've corrected those numbers and they're waiting for us to kind of catch up to it?
Well, the problem is that it's a new norm, right? So, everybody's like, well, inflation is down. It's not that it's down.
Right.
It's that the baseline moved 8% last year. So if it's now 0, let's just say it's 0, it's still 8% higher than 2 years ago.
Well, and it's tough.
But they reset the baseline every month for every year because everything is year over year. It's not year over a decade and year over since a decade. It's year over when I started paying bills.
So the norm has changed, right? We're not living in abundance right now.
Right.
And it's tough for the human brain when you're like, I go to the supermarket and I don't look at prices. I buy what I want. I get the bread I want. I get the whatever. You don't get the off-brand. I just go through the grocery and I buy. And then at the end, I'm like, oh, that's how much it costs.
Right.
You can't do that anymore. So the life in abundance. It's hard for humans though when you're like, I'm used to that though. Wait, that's how I used to live. Or wait a minute.
And it was a good 10-year run. Right. I mean, we're talking from 2012-ish until 2022.
And vacation needs to be a little different. And I get it. We've been through some recessions, right? And we told them it's going to be bad. It's going to be a bad one. It's going to be horrible. And then it's over in 6 months, a year possible. But really, you can't even notice it.
Right.
This is different.
Yeah.
This is big time different. And you need to start watching where your dollars are going.
Yeah. 2 years ago, you would talk to somebody, hey, let's go do this. Ooh, I can't afford that.
Yeah.
Can't afford to. They say, I can't afford to do that. Right? They don't say, I can't afford that. They say, I can't afford to do that. Yeah. People didn't say that a couple years ago. So it's just different. And so people need to understand. And so what do you do? That's what you're saying. What do you do? We've talked about it. A home is $200 more today.
$200 more a month.
Yeah.
Payment wise.
Today than it will be in 2 years from now with a lower interest rate.
Okay.
Right? It's the homes themselves are like $800-ish more a month. Well, and that's a big number. You can handle 200. You can't handle 800.
But let's paint the picture. Let's paint the picture, right? Mm-hmm. You have these people who won their dollars going for it's not going as far, right? Right. They're already going to have to probably not go to that fancy vacation the kids have gotten so used to, right?
I mean, and let's put it in real numbers. Inflation minus job growth or wage growth is 7%, right? It was 7%. Right. So that means that out of $1, you only got 93 cents.
Or your husband was in tech and he lost a job altogether, right? And he's in or he took another job and he had to take 35%, decrease there. So
or they were in real estate.
Or real estate, title or mortgage, right? It's been rough. It's been rough, and you were working really hard, right? You had a 5-year plan, which a lot of people do. Like, I'm going to get that house, for my kids, and I want to be in that neighborhood, and it's this much. And you kind of knew that you could get that $600,000 house.
Absolutely.
And it had a bedroom for all the kids. And now you're going to have to make 2 of the kids sleep to the same room, and that's a tough one to swallow. You're not making as much. It kind of hurts, and you're like, ugh. So you have a little bit of wishful thinking that things are going to fall.
True.
Like you've been working this hard, and you're like, oh, and then all of a sudden, right when you're about to get there, it's taken away from you. It's demoralizing. It's very demoralizing. But so a lot of people are just kind of like, oh, I'm just not going to buy a house. I'll wait till it falls. Why is that probably the worst thing you can do? You prepared to get here. You're almost there. Okay, so you're not going to get what you want. Tell them why it's still important to go get that house, even though it's not what you want.
First off, no matter what home it is, it still appreciates.
Right.
Okay. We had the worst housing crisis in 2008, 9, and 10. Then 3 years, and then we'd had in the history, excluding the Great Depression. Right.
Right.
I mean there's only been one time worse of a housing market in the history of the country, right? Now, granted, it's only been 100 years worth of this type of lending, but whatever. But I'm just saying, in 100 years, there's only been one time worse in 100 years, and that was a long time ago, right? So, but yet, if you bought a home in 2008 at the pinnacle of the market, right? I mean, the last, and I want to say it was like September, October 2008 was the if you bought a house then, right? And then you sold it in 2013, you still made money.
Right.
You didn't make a lot of money. You didn't make what you make now, but you still made money. So even at the worst time of the housing that the housing market could possibly offer you, you can still make money by holding on to the home for a couple of years.
And you're saying just 5 years later, it makes money.
And in 7 years, it made good money.
Made good
right?
money.
I mean, because like 2015, it was.
What's the average person staying at home now?
8 years.
8 years.
8 years.
So
well, the average mortgage is 8 years.
Okay, fair enough.
So that could be refinances and stuff.
Sure.
But yes. So the average mortgage is 8 years and a few months.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I mean, you're there.
Yeah. I mean, and you got to think from 2000 to 2023.
Right.
The Texas has appreciated 215%.
So it's still a good. Okay. Yes, you're not gonna get that house. It does hurt. It hurt me being. I was kind of in the market too. It did push me out a little bit. I was gonna increase my housing capabilities as well, and it hurt. Mm-hmm. But it's still not a bad opportunity if you're not at home currently. Period. Yeah. It's a good opportunity. But go and do it. So how do they get all of you?
855-299-HOME. Reach out to somebody on the team, and Monday through Friday we'll get a hold of you. Or you can do loansfromtroy.com, and we're always available. There you can apply, you can ask questions. You can go to loansfromtroy.com/the-home team. Check out all this information. You can calculate payments. You can find homes in the area. You can do housing search. It's all right there.
And the thing is a lot of times you don't know for sure, but this is one of those times that we know it's going to pop off again.
Yeah.
It's not if, it's when. Not if, it's when.
Right. It's always when. Right. Unfortunately, the housing industry is just like the stock market industry.
Right.
It's not timing of the market, it's time within the market. Right?
Yeah, but it's a little bit different. It's a tangible, though. That's the thing about it is it's a little different, obviously. It's a tangible. People have to have it.
But that's
what I'm saying.
But the longer you own the home, the more it's worth.
Right.
The more your equity you have. I mean, it's the same concept. The housing industry is the same concept as the stock market industry. It's not timing the market, it's time within the market.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so get out there,
jump in,
get your home, give me a call, apply online, whatever, but get moving, start the equity clock now so that when it is time for you to have to move, then you're available. Hey, you've been listening to the Home Team with Troy and White. We hope you've enjoyed what you've heard. If you have any questions about anything we just said, please reach out to me at loansfromtroy.com, or you can give me a call at 855-299-HOME. And as always, this segment was brought to you by Security National Mortgage, where we turn houses into homes by financing your American dream. See you in just a minute.